Their trust has gone
She
bust.
told me once that she was staying over at a girlfriend's house, when in actuality, she was staying at a guy friend's house.
It was where the party
She was
on the
staying
girl's
in
house.
his bed.
But he trusted her on a blind date.
He fooled around the pool a little bit.
Fine fooling around here.
She ended up spending the night over at my place.
After he has a blind date too.
She was actually like a real date.
Maybe if you took me on a real date, I would probably act like one.
Will trust overcome lust?
Fine fooling around here.
Or will they have a change of heart?
I'm Chris Jagger. Welcome to Change of Heart. This is the show where couples who've reached a crossroads in their relationship voluntarily go on one blind date with someone new. Now, we're going to meet the dates later. First, though, let's meet our couple. Now, he confesses he's made the wrong moves with women in the past, but when they met, he made the right one. He made her laugh, yes. He made her laugh, and they've been tickling each other's funny bone for the past 6 months. Please welcome Dave Wright and Christina Copeland. Now, you guys are here because the relationship hasn't been all smiles lately. Now, Dave, we said that Christina is turned on by your sense of humor. What is it that turns you on?
Well, Chris, to be honest, her spontaneity. She's just very spontaneous, which is not what I am at all.
Christina, when you met, though, were there some sort of test or anything that you did to see if Dave was the right guy?
Definitely. My brother and I have a really close relationship. He has the world's best sense of humor and the best sense of...
Fun.
You got it. And... he really passes out. He takes good care of me.
Christina, he compares favorably to your brother, but what about comparing Dave to guys like Don Juan, Casanova types?
Well...
we in the league?
Not necessarily. Doesn't actually compare in that. He's not too great under the sheets.
Dave.
And
why is that, Christina?
passion...
Not too great under the sheets. Okay.
Passion really isn't his strong suit. You know, honestly, he would rather eat in bed than he would do anything else. He loves to eat. If he could have his way with the Cracker Jacks box, I think he would be in heaven.
Now, come on.
Dave, she's pretty straightforward about this whole subject. Is Christina always like this?
No, actually, she's not. Actually, Chris, she lied to me one time about something, and it caused a little bit of a trust issue with me. No, you did.
Big lie?
It was a big lie. She told me once that she was staying over at a girlfriend's house.
Which I was planning on doing.
When in actuality, she was staying at a guy friend's house.
It was where the party...
Not just staying over, you were
on
staying
the girl's
in
house.
his bed. In his bed.
With 8 other people. You make it sound like it was just the 2 of us.
Yeah,
Big sleepover.
She lied about it.
All right, Christina, let me ask you this about Dave. Is there anything that you would change about him if you could? What would be the thing?
He is the
Physically.
hairiest damn person I've ever been with.
Big hairy bear.
He's fuzzy. His back, his butt, his legs,
Thanks, honey.
Yeah. So that doesn't really turn you on then, I guess, huh?
Not necessarily. All my last boyfriends have all been the smooth and, you know, that kind of sexy kind of thing.
All right, let me give Dave equal time.
Like prepubescent children.
Dave, equal time. Something you'd want to change about Christina?
Yeah, I'd like to change the fact that she's not the most recycling fanatic I've ever seen in my life. Okay. She almost broke up with me once because I put an aluminum can in the trash can.
How hard is it to put it in a little bin next
As
door?
a present, her first present for me was a recycling bin.
It was not a present.
When we go to the grocery store, she takes her little granola canvas bag with her to the thing.
So Christina, I can save the earth. Thank
Christina,
you.
great gift, by the
right.
way.
One person can make a difference.
You guys,
absolutely.
Christina, you guys are on like 2 totally different wavelengths here. What's going on?
I think the biggest issue that we have is that he's pushing 30 and I'm, 21, not even pushing 22 yet, and I'm out there to have fun. And he's ready to settle down and get a minivan and pop out some kids, and I'm ready for, some fast cars and bar
Now, Dave, are there times, though, that Christina actually acts mature for her age?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, when she acts like my mother.
Yeah.
Every time
somebody has to.
Oh, come on, give me a break. Every time we go into the car, it's like, who's got their seatbelt on? I mean, me, my friends, everybody.
Yeah, so I care. You make a big issue about my caring.
You do, you care.
Safety and recycling first.
Yes, exactly. And also, she's a big vegetarian, which is great, more power to her. But I like a good steak every once in a while, you know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
I agree.
All right, Dave, why is this a good time that you agree that these dates should be something you should do?
Well, I don't know. I've kind of come to the realization that in my past dating history, I've tended to think with my heart and not my head, and kind of make excuses for the other person. And I don't know. I thought of this as an opportunity to kind of take an objective look at things. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, they're oohing and awing for you, Dave, there. Well, it seems that Dave and Christina are certainly at a turning point in their relationship. Now, when we come back, we're going to meet the people they dated. We'll find out if they're going to stay together or have a change of heart, so stay with us. Here with Dave and Christina. Now, Christina says Dave's too old, too hairy, and too boring to ever be called a Casanova. So we found her a younger Romeo who's got lots of compliments on his hair, but only has hair on the top of his head. Please welcome Joel Drescher. Over here, Joel. Good to meet you. How are you? Good to see you. Dave, while you're taking a look there, does Joel look like a Romeo?
A little more like Juliet, if you ask me.
Christina, do me a favor, compare Joel's date plans to the ones that Dave usually has for you.
That's just it. Dave doesn't make plans. His idea of a date is to sit at home with a movie and not a bunch of anything. Joel called me up and he told me to wear hiking clothes, bring clothes to go clubbing in up in Hollywood, and to bring a bikini.
Oh, yeah?
I wasn't sure where that fit in, but, I was down for it. I was up for the adventure, so.
So he had a lot of plans for you. And, Joel, how were those, the first few minutes when you guys met? What was that like?
It was pretty good. I actually was thrown off a little bit because her roommate came to the door and introduced herself as Christina. Oops. And I wasn't exactly sure who was who, but it was a good thing because her roommate had applesauce all over her chest. And Christina looked good and athletic and attractive, and I was pretty happy.
So then where are you guys off to? Where did it start?
We went for a hike. I had a hike planned up off the Angeles Crest Highway, and it started out pretty good. I was holding her hand and helping over the rocks and the river, so it was a good start.
Hold on.
Christina?
Just because he's holding her hand to help her cross the river makes it sound a little bit more intimate.
Hey, there's
than
more.
it is.
A little romantic. Now, Christina.
Think what you want, so you
It's
go
a
ahead.
late afternoon hike.
Makes you feel better.
It's a late afternoon hike. And so did you guys get a chance to see the sunset?
We did. We found this perfect little spot, and I had to laugh when the blanket came out, and the bottle of wine, and the brie and bread.
Can I get some extra cheese on that, please?
It's so great. So he had to laugh too about it because he knew how cheesy it was too, and we just laughed about it, and we had a really good time. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, now, Joe, she's so into that recycling thing. You didn't leave any trash around or anything, did you?
No, I was pretty careful, but Chris,
But you wanted to, didn't you? You wanted to drop some on the ground, didn't you?
Come on, Dave, give a hoot, don't pour it.
What are you doing? The only person polluting actually was Christina. She was chomping on a pack of gum all day. She must have gone through about 12 pieces, and she was throwing it on the ground. It actually kind of got annoying.
So, Christina, all this chomping, did that prevent you from lip locking at any point?
I wasn't gonna let that get in the way, and he knows that. Yeah, we had a nice time cuddling and kissing, all that kind of stuff. We watched the sun go down and the stars come up.
They got Dave's attention now.
You're interrupting.
Kissing, cuddling.
You're interrupting. And the stars came out, and before we knew it, it was kind of pitch black when we were heading back to the car. It was a little scary.
A little spooky.
We made it back to the car, though. It was wonderful. We went back to his apartment, and he has this great hot tub. Which I found out is where the bikini came out.
Now, Christina, since you're jumping into the hot tub, you got a chance to check out how hairy Joe is.
I did, and I was a little disappointed. I was expecting more of the baby soft skin, and yeah, he has.
You see it peeking through there, yeah. Oh, hairy. How about the backside?
Very tolerable. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so Joel thinks
Just don't comment on his butt hair, all right? I don't want to hear anything about
things
that.
start to heat up in the hot tub then?
Yeah, things were definitely happening in the hot tub. And in fact, it got so hot, I had to take things into the sauna, which was just down the walk. And I tried to get that bikini off. But Christina shot me down. She wasn't having any of that.
Really?
That's right.
So, Christina, at some point, did this thing cool off?
Yeah, we hopped in the pool because we were getting a little too hot and heavy in the sauna, and we needed to cool off. So fooled around the pool a little bit, and we went up and took
Whoa,
showers.
just for my record, define fooling around here.
You know, volleyball and
Water sports.
Yeah, that's it.
Played some water polo.
All right, synchronized swimming.
Yeah, you got it. You got it.
Now, Christina, what about the age difference between you and Joel and compared to you and Dave?
Our energy level is the same. We just kept going and going and going. We made it. We went into Hollywood. We went and saw a show, and we went bar hopping and just kept going.
So you don't think Dave could have kept up hiking, swimming,
no.
all that?
Absolutely, I could do that.
We closed the bars down left and right.
And Joel, what time did you guys get back to your place?
Oh, it was pretty late. It was probably about 3:30, and I wasn't exactly sure what was going to happen, but I told Christina it was too late to drive, so she ended up spending the night over at my place.
Dave, is this one of those another nights of spending the night in the guy's friend's house?
Well, gee, I guess sounds familiar to me. I don't know.
And Christina, were there any crumbs under the covers from Joel eating in bed?
They're very nice and smooth, definitely.
Nice clean sheets?
Yes,
I
definitely.
clean my sheets, okay? For God's sake.
So, Christina, overall, how long were the two of you together for this date?
Well, he picked me up on Saturday at like 2 o'clock and dropped me off Sunday at like 3 o'clock. Overall, it was. We had a wonderful time. The goodbye was a little disappointing. He didn't walk me up. He just walked me into the lobby and gave me a hug. And
I would have walked.
And that's what sets you apart from Joel, Dave. Was hiking, hot tubbing, and heating another guy's bed enough to give Christina a change of heart? We're going to find that out later. But before we do that, we got to meet the woman that Dave dated. We'll hear what happened on their date next, so stay with us. Just heard what happened on Christina's date with Joel. Now we're going to meet the woman that Dave dated. Dave says Christina acts like his mom, is a recycling freak, and won't come clean about spending the night in the bed of a so-called male friend. So we set him up with a woman who loves kids but never treats her guy like one, and like George Washington, claims that she's never told a lie. Please welcome Reena Strober. Welcome. Christina, let me ask you, does Reena look like the type of woman that would actually appreciate Dave's big hairy chest?
yeah, she can tame that hair. I think she can tame his body hair.
Reena, what's your opinion about men with hairy chests?
Hairy chest is manly. It's masculine.
So you like that?
It's animal-like.
All right.
Yeah.
Dave, so Reena's happy with your masculinity. What about her femininity?
Look at her. I mean, that pretty much speaks for itself. I mean, beautiful hair, long, curly, brown hair. I mean, Christina just got her hair cut, so it looks nice, but I prefer long hair on a woman.
It's
I
not
do.
what
It's
she
more,
told me
more
after,
feminine.
yeah.
And when she opened the door and met me, I mean, you know, she smiled at me, and it just kind of drew me in. It's a very beautiful smile.
And Reena, what was the big smile about?
Well, when we spoke on the phone, we mentioned that I love children's literature, and he brought me a book of his that he loved when he was a kid, and it was just something nice that he shared.
You brought her something?
A little children's book?
It was a children's book, yeah, and I loved it.
Well, you've got grandchildren, right, Dave?
Thoughtful.
And Dave, while you were over there, did you check to see if she had a number of recycling bins or anything?
Not a one. Let me tell you. In fact, her apartment was actually lived in,
You'll be
like
very
not the
happy.
Natural Museum of History. That
But now,
Christina
Dave,
called
you got
it.
the audience cheering non-recycling. That's not
Very
good.
happy together then.
And so her apartment was actually lived in, is that what you said?
Yeah,
So
it's more lived in. It's more like a real apartment. You know what I mean? Not this stoic
My pigsty
medicine
like
room.
yours. And then more comfortable, right? That's the
It's
word
a
you
real.
use.
It's a real
Comfortable.
apartment.
So, Reena, let's talk
Yeah.
about how the date started. Did you guys start off with a hike like these two did?
No, we went the creative route. We went and
Whatever.
Come on, Joe worked hard on that date.
I don't like bars. I don't like smoky atmosphere, sharing beer. We shared paint. We went and painted pottery, beautiful pottery.
The ceramics that we have here?
We got to talk over it, and the creative juices flowed with energy. Things were flowing.
Now, Dave, while you guys were sharing some time painting pottery and doing those things, did you get a sense that Reena would be truthful and not lie about sharing a bed with another guy?
Yeah, absolutely.
I didn't lie.
What? Girl, boy. absolutely. I mean, from the first moment I met Reena, the first thing that comes across is she's a very genuine person. And what you see is what you get.
And Reena, have you ever found yourself in a situation like that?
Well, I have a lot of guy friends, and there's no problem, spending the night. But I would never lie about it.
I didn't lie about it.
I just come straight out and tell him.
Now, Dave, one of the things you complained about was being mothered. Was Reena doing any of that?
There was no mothering at all. No telling me to put the seatbelt on. No
that's good.
running
Now,
with knives or anything like that.
No running with knives. So, Reena, did you get some signals that Dave was interested during dinner?
We had great energy. We didn't even notice what was around us. We were just, eye contact was right there, and we had a lot to talk about. Food was delicious, and...
So, Dave, do me a favor. Compare first nights out with Reena and with Christina.
Well, I mean, it's not a... Yeah, our first date wasn't a real date. It was just kind of like over coffee and that whole thing. And this was more of a real date, I mean... The whole thing, driving in the car, we got a...
What a concept.
Driving in the car, we kind of got there was a good vibe between us. There was, chemistry, and I don't know, it's just...
So, Reena, you had some chemistry going. Anything else that you had in common?
Chocolate. We're both chocoholics, so for dessert, it was great. He took me back to his place and poured it all over my body.
So you got to see what he lives in.
We just shared, we shared some fudge, and it was great.
Shared some
What a
fudge.
surprise.
Now, Dave, we've also heard before that chocolate can sometimes be an aphrodisiac. Any sense that was kicking in?
I was hoping so, Chris. It was kind of a nice little thing to do at the end. My hot tub is in the shop right now. So
Definitely.
And Reena, did you sense that the chocolate might have an effect on Dave at all?
I forgot about the aphrodisiac stuff, but I guess it didn't. I thought, he might have kissed me goodnight, and there was that weird kiss moment, but he just hugged me. But it was a great hug.
Yeah, and Dave, why didn't you go for the kiss?
Well, because she had told me that she was Jewish and that she would only marry someone who was Jewish. So I don't know. It kind of made me feel a little awkward. I don't know if that's if it makes any sense, but I felt like maybe she wasn't interested or.
Okay. Now, given the fact that you've heard what happened on Christina's date, would you have done anything differently now that you know?
Oh yeah. I'd take her back to my bedroom. We'd eat fudge in bed with a Coke and a styrofoam cup.
So, Reena, what did you do when you got home?
When I called my friends, and I told them I actually met one of the first great guys in LA. It's not often you find
Really?
this.
And you know what? He paints a damn big cup. Cheers.
It actually is.
All right, well, Dave and Christina have a change of heart. During the break, they're going to make that decision. We'll find out what it is when we come back. Stay here. A moment of truth, because during the break, Dave and Christina did make that final decision about the future of their relationship, and there's no turning back now. Will they stay together, or have they had a change of heart? Now, you guys came on the show because you wanted like an objective look at your relationship, and you thought this would be a good way to achieve that. So, Christina, we're going to start with you. You said you wanted to go out with somebody that was going to make heat in bed and not eat in bed. Somebody that wasn't going to be quite as hairy as Dave. And someone maybe a little closer to your age. So there was Joel. You guys had a really good date. You went hike. You guys ended up back at the pool, the sauna, the whirlpool. You went out dancing, and it seemed like you kind of maybe stayed over all night long. So it was good, but it's your call. What do you say, Christina?
Nobody can make me laugh like Dave laughs, that's for sure. And I love him. I love his heart to death. But the 24 hours I had with Joel were amazing, and I really want to make them more than 24 hours. And so I've had a change of heart.
Change of heart. And Joel, does that work for you?
That definitely works for me.
Okay.
Definitely.
All right, Dave, now your turn. Now, you said you wanted to date somebody that wasn't going to be recycling happy, somebody that wasn't going to be mothering you, and somebody that you could trust with that sleepover situation. There you were with Reena. There she came with the long, sexy hair that you liked, the big smile. You guys were painting some pottery. You had that fudge moment together, and you had a pretty good connection there. But your decision at this point, stay together or change of heart?
Well, I mean, Christina's a wonderful person, but I've kind of been feeling for a while that we've been going in different directions, and it may have something to do with the age. So after some consideration and after seeing her on this 24-hour period with somebody else, it just made me realize that I'd like to have a change of heart.
Change of heart. Okay, Dave. And Reena, does that work for you? Okay. Dave, you need to calm down. You know, you guys wanted an objective look at your relationship. You got one, and it's time to go separate ways, and you can continue whatever that was you were doing after we're done. That's our show for today. Good luck to Dave and Reena. Also to Christina and Joel.